Well, grand risings, everyone, and of course you're seeing another video of me, and this is Mystical Ariel here to shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think. So here's some things. First of all, YouTube, you need to start thinking. You're not working properly. You're destroying your entire industry, and it's going to be like you're just going to go out the drain, and the rest of us are going to be on other networks. We're not going to continue to work at building something that you don't do anything to make effective or better. But on this note, I care about all of you people out there, and we are all the creators. So we got to kind of wake ourselves up and go, we need to fix this stuff. We need to just wake up and change the whole system. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about these bodies and what we keep thinking. And what we keep being told, the programming that happens over and fucking over again, okay? But what if, what if a lot of what we call aging is actually the body remembering? Well, we talked about armor, right? About how your nervous system, your fascia, your inner web is tissue and a fluid that hardened around your old experiences. And this morning, we're going to take the next step. So this is not just about understanding anymore. This is about how do you melt the armor, not in theory, but in everyday life. How is the posture, literally, you're a story you're still acting out in your body? And how do you start to rewrite that story gently without declaring war on yourself? So I want this to be a morning where you don't just learn something, right? You feel something shift, even if it's only for 2%. We've talked a lot about healing, regulation, grounding, feeling safe. But most people don't know what that actually feels like in the body. So maybe we need to map it. Think of a moment, at any moment, where you genuinely felt safe, or at least more at ease. Maybe lying in the sun, laughing with a friend, reading a book with no rush, being with someone who truly sees you. And notice, how was your breath? How were your shoulders? How was your jaw, your belly, your hands? Safety in the body often feels like breath that moves without you forcing it. Shoulders not trying to live up by your ears, A jaw that isn't clenching, a sentence it never said. A belly that's not sucked in to appear smaller. Hands that aren't constantly braced to react. Now think for a moment you felt threatened, judged, or like you had to perform. Notice the difference, though. It's very important. See, your body doesn't understand I'm fine. No idea. If your breath posture and muscles, tones are like broadcasting, we're under attack. So melting the armor starts with this question. What does my body language of safety look and feel like? Some of us don't even know. We have no clue. Because you cannot soften into a language you have never learned, right? So let's talk about posture. Not in the stand-up, straight, shoulders back way, but as living biography. And right now, wherever you are, just notice something. How you're sitting or standing as you watch this. Is your chest lifted or collapsed? Is your head forward, neck strained, or resting over your spine? Are your shoulders rolled inward or open? Is your lower back locked, or is there some movement? Are your legs tense, feet gripping? Don't change it yet. Just see it. Now imagine your posture as a character in a story. If this posture belongs to someone in a movie, what would you assume about them? Just looking at them. Confident or apologizing? Open or guarded? Ready to speak or ready to be silent? Here's the wild part, that's how your nervous system reads it too. See, your posture is often shaped by beliefs like, it's safer if I'm small. I must stay alert. I can relax. I'm responsible for everyone. I have to carry it all. It's not safe to be seen. I don't deserve to take up space. This is before those become thoughts in your head, they become shapes in your body. How old is this posture? Let's go deeper. Stay in your natural posture or close to it, and close your eyes for a moment. Just for a moment, and ask yourself a strange question. Say, if this posture had an age, how old would it be? And don't overthink it. Whatever number pops up, 5, 12, 17, 30, just notice it. And now ask, what was happening around that age? What did I have to do to survive then? Who did I have to be? What was not allowed to express? And you might realize this hunched chest is 9 years old. When you decided not to be too much. This tight jaw is 15. When you swallowed everything you wanted to say. This rigid back is 23. When you had to be strong for everybody else. Now your posture is no longer bad. Habits just age. It's a younger version of you still holding position. That's why I say your posture is your story. And that means you don't fix posture by attacking it. You relate to posture like you would relate to a younger you. See, most people approach their body like a dictator. Stand up straight, stop slouching, relax. Why are you so tight? That is not melting. That's more war. Melting is a completely different energy. Melting says, I see why you tighten. You protected me. You don't have to change right now, but I'm here with you. We're going to try a tiny bit of softening, and if you panic, we'll stop. So force says, what's wrong with you? Melting says, what happened to you? Force demands instant transformation. Melting honors the armor formed for a reason, and it only lets go when it trusts you. So let's make this practical. These are not workouts. These are conversations with your body. The 10-second check-in, I call it. Several times a day, pause for 10 seconds. And notice your jaw. Let it unhook just for 5% more. And notice your shoulders and let them drop 5% more. Notice your belly and let it expand. The next inhale, even if it feels vulnerable. You're not trying to become a yoga model, okay? You're just telling your body, we're allowed to soften in tiny doses, and it's okay. And then 2, ask before you fix. When you notice tension, instead of immediately stretching or cracking or forcing, ask, what are you trying to do for me, sweetheart? You might sense, I'm trying to keep you from crying. I'm trying to keep you ready to run. I'm trying to hold you together. But talk back gently to yourself and say, thank you for holding on me, holding me up, holding me. You're going to experiment with softening for a moment. You're allowed to rest a little. Then breathe into that area. No war, just an invitation. The 2% posture shift. Don't try to overhaul your body posture in one day. Pick one area. If someone gently placed a warm hand on your sternum, head, tuck your chin 2% so back to your chest lengthens. Pelvis tilted so you feel your sit bones under your head, under you instead of your tailbone tucked under. Hold that new posture for 20 to 30 seconds while noticing what emotions arise. Do you feel exposed, powerful, awkward, fake? Though the emotional weirdness is the old story protesting. You literally standing in the way, your system associated with danger, being seen, being big, being relaxed. Stay kind. Don't push past your capacity. But also don't immediately collapse back because it feels weird. See, that's how you begin to rewrite the story in your nervous system. See, you can use the script directly in your life, in your life every day. Just, hey, you got it. It's okay. Wherever you are, if it's safe, close your eyes. First, find the natural posture and don't fix anything. Just notice. Notice your jaw, your shoulders, and now silently ask, how old is this posture? Whatever number comes, just receive it. Say to the age inside you, I see you. I know you had to stand in a way to survive, but thank you. But I got you. We're good. And breathe into the chest and your next and inhale and gently lift your chest 2%, not to pose, just to make a little more space. Notice what you feel. Vulnerable, strong, exposed. If it's too much, soften a bit. Find the edge where it feels new but not overwhelming. And let your shoulders drop 5%. Let your jaw loosen 5%. And take 3 slow breaths. Tell your body, you don't have to be so tight all the time. I'm here now. You're not alone in this anymore. And on your next exhale, you can let your posture do whatever it wants. Open your eyes when you're ready. That's a live experience of melting, not forcing. The costume you wear for the world. There's another layer to this. The posture you wear in the public versus the posture you have alone. Ask yourself, how does my body position self when I'm around people? How does it change when I'm alone in my room? Which one feels more like me? Which one feels like a performance? Maybe in public, you puff your chest up in fake confidence, tighten your stomach. Maybe you shrink, fold in, and disappear. In both cases, your posture is a costume your nervous system believes it needs to survive. The goal of melting the armor is not to pick one perfect posture and freeze there. The goal is to have the body that can move between shapes without panicking, open when it's safe, guarded when it's needed, fluid instead of stuck. That's real freedom. Not one pose, but choice. And when the body fights healing, you might notice that when you try to soften or stand in a more open posture, you feel anxious, angry, silly, tired, or you suddenly want to stop watching, scroll away, distract yourself. This is important. That resistance is not you being lazy. That's your survival system saying, we've lived this way for decades. Are you sure it's safe to change? Instead of judging that, you can say, I get it. You're protecting me. We're not going to rip off the armor. We're going to loosen one buckle at a time. And if you honor the resistance, it often softens. If you attack it, it tightens. So here's the invitation. As you leave this part of this teaching, don't try to become a different person overnight. Just become a slightly different shape for a few seconds at a time. And lift your chest 2% when you speak your truth. Drop your shoulders 5% when you're safe with someone. And soften your jaw when you're alone and no one needs you to be strong. Each micro shift is like a message to your nervous system. The threat is not what used to be. We are allowed to live differently now. Your armor was never your enemy. It kept you alive. But you are not meant to die in the same shape you took when you were hurt. You are allowed to melt. You are allowed to stand in a new story. You are allowed to grow into a posture that reflects who you are, not just what you survived then. What is how you melt the armor. That is how you turn posture from prison into prayer. Remember that. You're not just a spawning. You're beyond. It's time to let it heal. Peace and love. See you next time.